Look, remember when we had the reporter come down and talk to us? Well, it finally went in the paper. And I'm going to have pictures at the end so you can see the article. And George is going to read it to you because he has that relaxing voice.
I have a relaxing voice.
You do.
I hope you can hear me.
I can.
Before we get started, I just want to say
I want to say
thank you to all of our subscribers. We really appreciate it. We're at, I think, 376 right now. Tell you what we're going to do. When we get to 425, I know I said 400 on Facebook, but 376 snuck up on us real quick. So when we get to 425, I will dye this beautiful beard of mine pink. As pink as it will go. You see how white it is?
it ought to take color.
It ought to take color really, really good. So you get us to 425 subscribers, I will dye this beautiful, beautiful beard.
And it don't cost nothing.
Yeah. Subscribing is free of charge. Doesn't cost anything. I wish they came up with a different word besides subscribe, but because it makes it sound like it costs something, but it doesn't. So hit the like, share, and subscribe, and
liking costs even less.
yeah, liking costs even less. So does disliking. I don't care either one. But 425, and we will dye this beautiful beard of mine. So welcome to the Robinsons neighborhood. Shannon is laughing in the background, in case you can't hear. I'm going to have to turn this light on above my head because I can't see to read it. I'm just going to hit on a few of the highlights. I'm not going to bore you by reading.
I want you to read it to him. That's what I said we was
Okay.
doing.
Shannon wants me to read the whole thing.
It's not that long.
The headline says, and this is on the front page, by the way, of our local newspaper, the very front page. This article is by Tammy Shaw, and the paper is Sentinel News. To begin with, it says, hundreds of brake pads and assorted auto parts were recently fished out of Clear Creek by a local couple. George and Shannon like to magnet fish and chose a spot on the waterway to try their hand at snagging treasure, but what they found astonished and concerned the couple. Left fishing for answers, it says.
I didn't know it said that.
Yeah, it says left fishing for answers.
That's funny.
Then it gives a location here. It says the Robinsons like to spend time fishing for metal with a heavy-duty magnet, but the trips to Clear Creek under the 7th Street Bridge in Shelbyville netted nearly 100 brake pads on the first visit, reeled in via heavy-duty magnets. The Robinsons cast their lines from the bank of Clear Creek along the Greenway trailhead near Calvary Cemetery in November, a short walk from trail parking. Yeah, it's right next to a cemetery, guys. What they pulled out of the water wasn't treasure. That's where the Robinsons' odyssey begins, and it was an odyssey. On the couple's first trip, they reeled in a brake pad, then another and another. Every cast pulled more from the muddy bottom of the stream. In a mere 3 visits, the pair snagged 300 brake pads plus other assorted auto parts like brake cylinders, tie rods, tire weights, lug nuts, battery terminals, chains, bolts, tires, and more, suggesting more may be submerged. The Robinsons are doing their best to fish out these contaminants. That's a big word. They are happy to do what they can to clean up the creek, but both are disabled and can only do so much. Continued on A5. This says no clear path. Robinson posted his findings on the couple's YouTube channel, The Real Deal Magnet Fishing is what we're called, so real deal. Finding more brake pads and assorted parts each trip. The couple made it into a friendly competition, each depositing their individual finds into separate buckets, and there were plenty of items to collect. We didn't really bet because we don't have that much money to bet. But they weren't sure whom to call to report this illegal dumping into the creek. The agency responsible wasn't immediately clear. One might think city or county government would have this responsibility, but waterway issues are more complicated. The correct reporting agency is the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet, the Kentucky Division of Water. I want to say a big thank you to the Kentucky Division of Water. Todd name, he's a inspector scientist. But Todd, thank you. A source at KYEC said dumping at this location had not been reported, but it is of concern. George confirmed that he had not contacted that agency. The agency responds when contamination in the water is reported. A typical call is for a deep containment spill. Shelby County Clean Community deals with illegal dumping when it's on ground, tires, appliances, and trash. The EPA is where the Robinsons started with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, which in turn referred to Louisville EPA. They told me they would send someone to check it out, but I haven't heard back from them, George Robinson said.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. He then called the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife Resources because they also had seen dead raccoons and other animals floating in the creek. However, in rural county like Shelby, that's not uncommon. No fish kills have been reported in the creek. He also called a local magistrate and judge. The problem with brake pads is that many contain asbestos and other chemicals, especially on the older vehicles. The Sentinel News emailed the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and asked whether asbestos in the waterways is a concern. And the Sentinel News did not receive a reply in time for publication. Although Clear Creek lives up to its name most days, the possibility of asbestos in the water, a clear substance labeled a carcinogen, concerns the couple, as does the potential effect on wildlife. I'm sorry for my phone going off, guys. Asbestos is a known cancer-causing agent according to federal government. Laws on the books for the proper way to dispose of brake pads for this very reason. There's laws on books for the proper way to dispose brake pads for this reason. And guidelines by OSHA tell employees how to protect workers dealing with potential asbestos exposure. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency website, when asbestos is disturbed, asbestos fibers are released into the air. When fibers are breathed in, they might get trapped into the lungs and remain there for a long time. Over time, these fibers can accumulate and cause scarring and inflammation, which can affect breathing and lead to serious health problems. So what is it doing in the water? An email to U.S. EPA about whether asbestos in waterways is concerned wasn't returned. However, according to the Mesothelioma Center at asbestos.com, its website lists factors that can determine how and whether asbestos exposure affects people are dose, duration, exposure, size and shape of fibers, source of exposure, genetic factors, and individual risks such as smoking and pre-existing lung disease. Asbestos can leak into the groundwater. Asbestos in groundwater has the potential to become deposited on surface such as walls, floors, and vegetation,
As water evaporates, the airborne fibers contribute to indoor and outdoor health issues, according to the website. Also, otters. The Robinsons said they're concerned family of otters in the area of Clear Creek. We're talking about Ike and Tina. It's cleaned up. George, turtles, fish, and whatever wildlife lives in the area. It is. We called the EPA, and they're waiting for a call back to make a report. And he hasn't heard anything from the Louisville agency. It is now. And the otters. I'm sorry, I already said that. Sonny and Sharon, Ike and Tina, duos popular in the 60s and 70s. We're taking it upon ourselves to clean it up as best. This is a massive illegal dump site, George and Shannon said. Yeah, it's a long, I told you. That's on the other, something else. Charges involved in this. It's also imposed if someone is found at fault. Other than Shelby County nuisance ordinance, according to Rusty Newton, that's funny, his name was Rusty, chair of the Shelby County 109 board, illegal dumping is a Class A misdemeanor with a fine not to exceed $500 and or 12 months in jail. Each day without cleanup is a separate offense if it's not cleaned up. Fines keep mounting, he said. So that was the end of the article, and it's supposedly supposed to go into a series. There's a couple pictures and stuff on here, and Shannon will put that at the end and show you all. Here's the thing: we appreciate the newspaper coming and doing a story. There goes my phone again. We appreciate the Sentinel News coming and doing the story, and Tammy doing the story for us. We appreciate Todd from the Kentucky Water Division to come. But let me just say, evidently Kentucky's EPA is not real concerned. And evidently, I can tell you for a fact, the Fish and Wildlife are not concerned, because they told me that they don't even fool with that. So, whoever's doing this,
You're a real piece of garbage.
you're a real piece of crap, piece of garbage in our book.
And a lot of people's books.
In a lot of people's books. I'm not a tree-hugging liberal, but I am concerned with our waterways and our wildlife. There is a recycling center just right up the road from Clear Creek. I don't know if they take brake pads or not, but hey, give it a shot.
Ask.
If not, put it in your own recycling. You know.
And there's a scrapping place you can take it to.
Yeah. You know, do the right thing here, guys or gals, whoever's doing this. Shannon and I will continue to clean this up when the weather permits. We'll do the best we can with what we got. That being said, we just wanted to give you the article, and
Because it's been so long.
it's been a long time, and but they finally came through for us. Again, I know this is not the video you may have wanted to hear or see, and I'm sorry my voice is low and boring and monotonous, but just wanted you to see it and hear it. So, that being said, like, share, subscribe.
Oh, hey, and I wanted to say something.
Shannon.
This camera is the one that we took with us to the jail that cut off every 2 seconds. It has been going for 15 minutes, and it has not cut off once.
So that may tell us that the jail is probably definitely
Pretty much.
haunted.
Something's wrong because
I don't get it.
I know. Remember when we did the jail and I said, I know this camera. This is my baby. I know it inside out. I can take it apart and put it back together in my sleep. I know everything about how it works. It went off every 30 seconds. And it wouldn't come back on after about the 8th time. And now it's been running all this time and not a problem.
Not a problem at all. So, that being said, we're probably going to do some more paranormal investigation before long. Definitely under Jail Hill Bridge and the railroad bridge.
Yeah.
Got some strange readings on the K2 over there.
Yeah, we did a whole Halloween video down there. It was over an hour. But we did it through StreamYard onto someone else's channel and we can't get it. So, I don't know. We'll just do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again on our own. Okay. Going to cut this off here. Like, share, subscribe. Look in the description for magnets if you want one. Also, check out our friends' channels.
We got Coffee Tank and Blackpool and Sonik and
The Outcast.
Outcast and oh god, oh, and Jenny, the magnet fishers and more. Yeah. Oh, hi Joan.
Hello, Joan.
Good Lord.
This phone is
See you
like
later.
crazy. Bye. Love you.